tell you, there's nothing better than Disney World, right? I mean, we've been to Disney World before. A couple of years ago, we took my son for his 7th birthday. Awesome. We woke him up this morning up. He had no idea. We surprised him. We said, we're getting on a plane in 2 hours and we're going to Disney World. And it was great. And I, personally, wasn't really looking that forward to it. I got it. Okay? I went to Disney when I was like in 2nd grade, and I had not been back. And you show up there, and if you've been, you know this. It is an experience after experience after experience. I loved it. It was awesome. We had a great time. And we want you guys to have a great time when you earn this trip. Okay? And we want you to earn it. We want you to bring your family with you. Okay? It's going to be an amazing experience in from here. All right? You've got to figure out how to get there, right? We want to figure out how to get there. We're going to get there. All right? Here's what I want us to do. I know I have launched a couple new things today. We've gone through some details today. But you've had a break. You've had lunch. You have sustenance. You're okay. All right? You've got a new level of brain power here. I want to walk you through how the criteria is going to work in this incentive, because I want each and every one of you, when rally ends on Saturday, rushing out those doors, ready to earn this trip, okay? So I want to spend a little time now helping you understand how it's going to work. And here's what I got to tell you, okay? I want you to look at how we've earned and set up incentives in the past. Go ahead and just kind of put it in your hand there and look at it, all right? See it here? Look at it. Think about how you've done your points in the past, okay? And I want you to just kind of set it aside, all right? Because I want you to really open up your mind, because we're going to do it a little bit this year, okay? But it's a way that's going to be extremely powerful for you, not just to earn the trip, but more importantly, to help you build your business in an accelerated manner, okay? An incentive at the end of the day, it's a great trip, it's a great experience, okay? But the reason for us in here, for building a business, the reason that we want to do it is it's a short-term strategy to meet a longer-term goal, right? And some of the things that you get people involved in going for this trip, whether you earn it or not, and I hope that you do earn it, but even if your team member goes for it, okay, that helps build your team, right? And so it's good for everybody if we do that, all right? So let's walk through this, okay? First off, you saw this in the video, the incentive period starts July 20th and goes through February the 28th, okay? So that's the time period that you have to qualify. Here's something a little bit different as of late, and many of you have asked us to do this. This is open to everyone, okay? So this can be clear. This isn't just a designer trip, okay? It's open to everyone, all right? And we want everyone to go for it, okay? So just keep that in mind. Here's how it's going to work. Remember, look at your points, your understanding, how we've done points lately. Just kind of set it aside, say, okay, that doesn't apply here, okay? 3 ways that you can earn points in this. Okay, the first way is on your personal CV, okay? On your personal CV, right? You're used to that. We've done that before. You'll get 1 point for every bit of personal CV that you generate, okay? Makes sense. You'll get an extra point if that personal CV comes from a gym member, okay? So, to put it another way, a gym member generates a personal CV for you. You get 2 points for that, not just 1. Okay, now notice I didn't say you get a point when you register a gym member. Okay, you get a point when activity comes out of that gym member, right? Okay, so that makes sense. So you earn an extra point there. And the one that takes a little bit of understanding, we're going to walk through this, a little bit of thinking, is this third one. Okay, your team CV from new jewelers on your first level enrolled on or after July 20th. Okay, team CV, you know what that is. From new jewelers that sign up on or after July 20th on your first level, okay, you get 2 points for that. Okay, so we're talking team CV 10, 10, 10, all right? It's going to generate from that. So we're going to walk through exactly what that looks like in a minute. But if you think about it, okay, as we go through this, what this does for all of us in here, especially from the team CV standpoint, is you all are starting at a level playing field. Okay, right? Because it's going to be based off of what you start doing right now. Okay, and moving forward, and the new teams you start building, the new jewelers that you bring on. Notice it doesn't say you get points for just sponsoring new jewelers, you get the points based off of the CV that those new jewelers and their teams generate. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So let's walk through this a little bit, okay? Put it another way, there's 3 buckets of points that you can get. And you're going to see on here, just to short things up, I've got it down as PV, that is personal CV. Okay? If you hear me say PV, personal volume, personal CV, okay? Same thing. All right? You get 1 point for that. Okay? You got attached to that gym members. If any of that PV comes from a gym member, then you get an extra point for that. Okay? And then your 3rd bucket is your team CV. All right? So let's go through this. All right? I'm going to try to simplify this a little bit. This is me. I'm a jeweler. All right? And I'm going to this Dash Disney trip. Okay? I'm going to get it. All right? So here's what I'm going to do that. All right? Let's start first and talk about something we're all familiar with, that personal CV. All right? So let's say I have some jewelry shows between now and the end of February. Right? And they all have different amounts of volume that they generate. And then I have maybe some style shows. I mix it up, you know, and I'm doing it different ways. All the same, I would put in some online events, some Facebook shows, things like that. Let's say I have some vendor events, okay, and I work those in. And they all have different amounts of volume and things like that. And then obviously scattered in with all of that are other individual orders that count as part of my personal CV as well, okay? So if you total all of that up, all right, in this scenario, in this one, it's almost 8,000 points. Okay, 7,950 points. That's what I generated in this period of time in my personal CV. All right, so if you look at my PV bucket there, I have 7,950 points. Does it make sense how I got that? Pretty simple, right? Okay, here's a little twist. What if those purple circles all represent orders that came from gym members? Okay, well, let's take a look at that. So if I look at it again, I've got all of those orders that came from gym members. By the way, it's not in this case, that could be 1 gym member that placed 6 orders, right? Or that could be 6 gym members that placed 1 order. Okay? I bring that up because I think a lot of you are going to get a lot more than 6 orders from your gym members as they come on. Okay? So this is just an example. But if all of those were from gym members, we said I get bonus points for gym members, right? For the volume that comes from gym members during this time. There's 650 points there. Therefore, I get an extra 650 points in my gym member bucket. Okay? Now, just to be clear, that 650 is also represented in the PV bucket, right? That you see there, the personal CV bucket. Okay? Because it counted there too. The second bucket gives my bonus points. You with me? Yes. Making sense? Pretty simple. All right, let's get to our 3rd bucket then. This is the team CV bucket. Okay? And this is where the point generation can get crazy. Yeah. All right? So let's take a look at how this can work. Here's Mandy. All right? Mandy is a jeweler. She became a jeweler on on July the 21st. So, quick test. Will Mandy's team count for me in this incentive?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Somebody actually said it. She came in on or after July the 20th. All right? Excellent. She did it. Okay? So great. She counts. Perfect. All right? There's Jennifer. Jennifer, she enrolls, what's that say? September 3rd. Okay? So will Jennifer's team count for me in this incentive?
Yes.
Yes, because she came in after July the 20th. Perfect. All right? Here is Cheryl. Cheryl came in on July the 15th. Okay, she's a jeweler. Is Cheryl's team going to count for me in this incentive?
No.
No, she's not. Doesn't mean Cheryl's a bad person or anything like that. This won't count for me in this incentive, all right? But we'll come back to Cheryl in a minute, all right? Then finally I have Charlotte, all right? She gets in later in the incentive, November the 1st. Is Charlotte's team going to count for me in this incentive?
Yes.
Yes, y'all are great. So great. It took me forever to go through this with Kevin. Anyway, I love picking on him. Anyway, he still probably has questions. I'll deal with them later. Anyway, all right. Let's take this to the next level, okay? Here we go. So Mandy, She's a jeweler, she signed up, and now she is going out and she's sponsoring a lot of other little Mandy's, right? They all become jewelers, okay? Which is awesome, that's great. And so Mandy does that, and they all generate different amounts of volume, okay? And so we're taking a look at that. That's what they do over that period of time, February. Awesome, okay? Jennifer, she doesn't sponsor as many people, okay? But the people she does sponsor, they do quite a bit, okay? They're pretty productive. They put in a lot of volume there, okay? They're really active, they're getting after it, which is great. Cool. Let's move on to Cheryl. Cheryl goes nuts, all right? She's a sponsoring machine, okay? Some of them do really well, some of them do so-so, okay? As we look at the volume, okay? But Cheryl's really going after it, all right? And then finally we have Charlotte, okay? Charlotte came in late, but that did not stop. We've all met this person before, right? They comes in late and they just knock it out of the park really fast. Okay? So, Charlotte gets after it, and her people, she gets a lot. She doesn't do as much, but it's the people that she brings into the business as jewelers that they really take off and run with it. And so, she generates a lot of volume there. So, let's take a look at this. If I tally up all that volume, okay, and think back to how the points are going to work, here's what happens. Mandy's team, that's 6,500 in CV, okay, that her team generated. We double that, and I get 13,000 points from Mandy. All right, just like that. That's a lot of points, okay? And yet, it's pretty straightforward and simple on how we got it, right? Okay, let's look at Jennifer. Jennifer actually didn't sponsor as many people, but they were a lot more active, the ones that she did. They generated 8,000. In CV, that gets me 16,000 points. All right, it's stacking up. It's great. Cheryl, she comes in 6,000 in CV, but I don't get any points. Why? Because she enrolled on or after July 20th. So this is important.
Before.
It doesn't matter.
Before.
What?
Before.
Huh?
Before.
Oh, yeah, what he said. Okay, yeah, before July 20th. There we go. She enrolled before July 20th. Right? Did I clarify that?
Yes.
There?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Excellent. All right, so it doesn't count because of that thing. All right? The important thing to bring up here, though.
Early.
What am I doing? Uh-huh. Okay. I'm going to keep going. I'm trusting you know what I mean to say, okay? You know what I mean to say, not what I say. So I do that. All right, here we go. All right, so that is Cheryl. She doesn't generate points for me because she enrolled before July 20th. What's the big deal, right? But, two things I want to point out here. First off, for me, if I'm a great leader, that doesn't bother me at all. Why? Because I'm reaching out to Cheryl and saying, Cheryl, you can earn this trip. All right? I want you to earn this trip. Go for it. Let me help you. Of course, it's helping me build my overall volume up, right? Even if it doesn't count for me in the incentive, that's okay. Okay, as a leader, this is a program that I can help leverage and get the most out of it, okay? The other thing to point out here is Cheryl, those people that are underneath her, they probably did come in after July the 20th, right? Most likely, okay? But they still don't count for me because it's based off of first level, right? So just make sure we distinguish those dates. I mean, I have no issues with dates. I don't know if y'all do or not. All right, let's look at Charlotte. Charlotte's team generates 9,500 in CV, and that gives me 19,000 points, okay, which is amazing. So, I tally all of that up, and it's a total, just from Team CV, 48,000 points. Okay, that's a ton. If I add all three of my buckets up, it gives me 56,600 points in this incentive. Okay, just in this example, all right? Do you get how it works?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay? So the key here is, once you figure that first level new jeweler part out, the rest of it is easy. And obviously I've got it down so you can get it down. Okay? No, it's very, very simple. All right? So just know that. Now then, we're not really going to stop there. Okay? Here's how this is going to work. It is the top 250 in points will earn this trip, okay? The top 250, okay? So what we are doing as we move forward with our new programs, and as we are all in, we're looking for people, hey, I'm going to rise up and I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to go for it. So I know in the past, the way that we've done it is a little bit different than that, okay? The way it's going to work for this one is, if you are in the top 250 in points, you will be qualified to go on the trip, okay? And that's just how it's going to work. So it'll come down to the very end, the top 250 all the way through February, okay? But in addition to that, we kind of want to have some fun in between. All right, so here's what we're going to do. And this part is really important for you to listen to, because there are a lot of you in here that are going to hear this, and it's going to fire you up in a way that maybe something hasn't fired you up in a long time. Okay? We are going to, every month for the rest of this year, rest of 2018, the top 5 in points in that month will instantly be qualified to go on the trip. Okay? Now then, let me just spell this out for a second. Month 1 is going to be a little bit longer than the others, just how this is working out. From July 20th to August 31st, the top 5 in points, if you're in that bucket, you're going to be qualified to go on the trip. All right? So I mean, just like that, it's done. You can have your qualification taken care of before the summer's even over. Okay? That's pretty awesome. All right? But then September, we're going to come back and do it again. So everyone will start at 0 in September. By the way, when those top 5 make it, they are now no longer going to be qualified for the 250. It opens up 5 more spaces in the top 250. Okay? And these are additional spots. So we're going to do it in September. We're going to do it in October. We're going to do it in November. We're going to do it in December. By the way, anyone in here deadline driven? Right?
Yeah.
I know I am, and I know when we look at how you guys respond to any deadline, you respond to it. Okay, so now we've got 5 deadlines for the rest of this year that you and your team can really drive toward to help keep you focused on pushing forward. Okay? And that's what we really want to see out of that. So it's going to be awesome. We also will have, you got to keep track of this, right? So we will have in the back office reporting. You can follow your points. You can follow where those points came from. We'll have standings that go up fairly soon. Okay, all of that's going to be available to you, so you know where you stand, what you're doing, what you need to do, and all of that good stuff. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
All right.
Woo! Awesome.
And then finally, looking at the incentive trip. Once you reach 24,000 points, and again, look at how simple and easy it was to get those points. Once you get 24,000 points, a jeweler, there's no buy-on required for your jeweler. So if you personally want to earn this trip for free, 24,000 points minimum is what you need to hit. Okay? You want to take family with you and not have to pay for that part either. Okay? You don't have to buy on for them. It's an extra 3,000 points for each family member. Okay? So, and that's what we want, by the way. We want families of Premier to go on this trip. Okay? Now, remember what I told you a minute ago? Forget how you looked at points before, okay? And receive the new way of doing it. If you're still thinking about the way we used to do points, you're going to think, boy, that's outrageous. I don't think I can do it. But we're not doing points that way. We're doing points a new way, okay? And you can actually get double points for a lot of good stuff. And you get double points for building and working with your team. And so I don't think for you guys that are getting the top 250, that 24,000 doesn't get issued at all. Okay, I want every single one of you to hit that and go beyond it. Okay, and earn this trip. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so who's going to do it? Let's go for it. Let's get the dads to Disney. Something else you need to be aware of that's somewhat related to this. You might have looked at the dates that we're going on the trip. It's in June next year. Okay, and that might get you thinking, looking at your calendar and thinking about how things work. So we just wanted to give you a couple of save the dates. Things to jot your calendar. Okay, that's all we're going to do right now is give you these dates you just need to be aware of. But it might be a question that's in your head. All right, the first one you need to be aware of is a regional rally. It will be January the 5th. Okay, so just know that. We'll be getting more details on that in the near future. Okay, and then rally next year, slightly different timing. Okay, it's going to be August 8th through the 10th next year.
No!
Okay? Be aware of that.
my
Rally's
goodness.
going to be there. We wanted to make sure that you do that right now, so that you were aware of that. All right. So I'm excited about the dash to Disney. I don't think you guys are. Thank you guys so much.
Okay.
Who's going? I want to hear it one more time. Who's going for Disney? Thank you very much.
That is exciting, and the Disney trip starts on June 19th, my birthday. I thought no better way than to have a trip to Disney just to celebrate. So who's going to join me there? You've already been hearing about our theme, Connect. And you've probably already been hearing another phrase, all in. And if you are in the marketplace, you saw those large letters in our leadership last night, you heard a bit about it. I want to talk for a minute about how Connect and All In are coming together here at our rally these few days. Our leadership last night were challenged to be all in with Premier to move out of rally into this next year. Tim talked about that, Larry Stone talked about it, Brett talked about it. You've already seen our fall collection this morning. You love it?
Yeah.
You've heard about our gym membership. You love it?
Yeah.
You've heard about a $45 a month, all-inclusive business model. So even for renewals, no longer will you get an email saying, hey, it's time to make a decision. For $350, you can stay another year. People are going, wondering whether or not they should. No longer. It's just a continual business model that flows from month to month. And I was even talking to Jack Green earlier, who's been in Premier forever. He's a prayer partner now. He said, so you're saying that if you just sell $90, you paid for your business. That's exactly right. It's a wonderful model. Well, let's talk about being all in with these things we've been sharing. Now, here's all in. This is it to me. A jump out of an airplane at 5,000 feet in the air. It's a thrilling journey.
Yeah.
But what it means is there's no going back. There's no redo. There's no second thoughts. You are all in. So what it means is you have to focus ahead. You've got to focus on your destination. Because where you've been, the comfort of the airplane, the air conditioning, that 5,000-foot view, it's no longer there. You have moved on. You've moved to something new. So the past comforts and the past successes and even the past failures are behind us because we're moving to something new. Now, what's the primary emotion when you are all in? Sheer terror. It's new. I've never done it. I'm not sure. I couldn't follow Brett when he's going through 3 buckets of points. I don't know what this means. As we're moving to something new and exciting, yes, there can be the emotions of panic and fear, and there can even be regrets. But it doesn't change the fact that you've already taken the jump. You're already moving at 120 miles per hour towards the ground below. So one of these things are about to happen. You're either going to splat on the ground, or you're going to arrive at your target full of adrenaline, accomplishment, pride, success, having met the needs for yourself and your family and enrich the lives of others. That's the destination that we have. Now, no normal, sane person would choose to jump out of an airplane. I did try to get Drew to go do that this week so we could show pictures, and he refused. Because I wasn't going to do it. And now I want to share with you why the theme Connect goes with all of that. You'll be hearing more about All In, but our theme Connect is what brings success to an all-in attitude. Because when you jump out of that plane, it's not very long before you realize that your success is because you are connected. You're connected. At this rally, we're going to give you everything you need and deliver to you what you need so you can be connected. And it starts with our verse of the year. Our verse of the year reminds us that we are to think of ways, we people, to think of ways, to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. Coming from Hebrews 10:24. So there are people, there are resources, and yes, there's a target, there's a plan. And we're even told from God's Word that all of these work together to ultimately bring us success and to be doing what God would have us to do. And that comes from our verse. So first of all, I want to talk about the need to connect to the right people. Not just anyone. Andy, in his book, Leadership A to Z, talks about the first characteristic of a right person to whom we should connect. It's called attitude. Andy says, no one just goes, well, Andy talks about in his book about the fact that attitude is the key to the success that we have. That the attitude that a person has that I can versus the attitude that says that I can't makes the difference. So what I want for you is to look for people who are not rookies and they're not overzealous people who happen to stay at Holiday Inn Express last night, but yet they are people who have the right attitude and are experienced. See, in skydiving, you don't really put you tandem. They put you together with someone else. You don't show up and say, I'm skydiving today, and they put you out of the plane. They put you with the right person. And the amazing thing about that right person is it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your condition. It doesn't matter your fears. There's someone else that's there. And if they have that right attitude, if you connect to the person with the right attitude, then you have what you need. You know, your attitude is the one thing that you can control. You can't control your circumstances. You can't control change, but you can control your attitude. So I want to encourage you to find people this week to whom you can connect, who have the attitude that we can do this, we can make it work, we're going to make the most of it, and they're going to take their experience, take your hand, and they're going to jump with you. But you also need people who are willing to work. If you connect yourself with people who do nothing, then you will most likely do nothing. But if you connect yourself with people who have the experience, who know what they're doing, not someone who parachuted for the last time back in World War II, but somebody who actually does this for a living, who is making the most of their premier business, you join them, but don't stalk them. Don't literally handcuff yourself to them. After you hear a trainer this week, don't follow them to the bathroom. Don't be weird about it. But here's what you do. Listen, take note, and then get to work. Because you know, the test of whether or not you're connected to the right people is going to be your attitude and your work. If you model the wrong attitude and you model the wrong work ethic, then you are connected to the wrong people. But if you model the right attitude and you do the right work, then you are connected. Now, I'm not talking about your upline, downline. I'm talking about people that you seek out to help you find the success and premier that God has for you. I want you to connect. But then connect to the right resources. Think of ways, as we're told in Hebrews. You know, this morning you were shared a lot of new resources, but we've still got 50% profit on everything you sell. We've got 10%, 3 levels of deep commission. We've now got a tool to increase your customer base and what they purchase from you. We've got opportunity to go to those who couldn't afford, they couldn't get credit, they couldn't get financing, and Premier wasn't an option. You go back to them with a new option. Jewelers who weren't thinking about renewing, you go back. You've got the resources you need, but now what you need to do is to take those resources and connect with them. And during this week, you're going to continue to hear training about how you can most effectively use these new things and how you can effectively use some things that have always been a part of Premier. But you've got to connect to those things and realize that by doing the right things with the tools that are at your disposal, then you have the security you need to have an all-in attitude. Now remember, change is not bad. I wouldn't want to go parachuting with World War I technology. I would prefer to use 2018 technology. And so in a changing world, even as our programs evolve and as our programs improve, understand it's to give you the best so that you can have an all-in attitude because the resources are exactly what you need to be connected to. The third is connect to the right target. Now again, I haven't gone skydiving, but there's a few things that are quite obvious. I didn't even have to go to Wikipedia, I just thought of them on my own. You're not targeting a lake, because you don't want to parachute in the water. You're not targeting rocks, because that could be a rough landing. You're not targeting the interstate. You are targeting a field, an area that is clear of obstacles. In fact, a golf course would be the perfect place to land when you're skydiving, because it has already been prepared for you for that jump that you've taken. And in Premier, you've got to have the right target. I know that many times we get involved in this business and we're here because there's needs that we're seeking to meet, but we're not really certain where we're headed. And during this week, we're going to give you opportunity, and I know that we're even closing on Saturday with a real focused emphasis on defining your target. Even the dash to Disney. Well, yes, it's an incentive trip, but you know what it is? It's a target for you. It's a target for you to say that if I focus on these parts of my business, then I'm going to be rewarded. And I want to tell you, even if you're not in the top 250, even if you are 251, the result in your business will be success. So those are the things that you must do to find success. Be connected to the right thing. Take full advantage of what is offered to you. Well, I understand that you're probably not going to be able to compete with Jennifer Keller and Gina Gravano. But you know what the neat things about the dance at Disney? They're probably going to get their spot in August. They're out of our way. That means there's 3 others, and there's 5 more all the way to December, and then there's another 250 of the opportunity to receive the reward, the thrill of that trip. But again, the incentive is so all of us, whether we're in that group or not, are focused on the right thing, connected to the right target. Well, I want to encourage you that as we continue to be all in. I want you all to tell me if you're all in. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
All in!
If you're willing to connect, I want to hear the same from you. If you're willing to connect, 1, 2, 3.
Connect!
So get started with that. We need to connect with one of the right people who are talking about using the right resources to hit the right target. And she's been a jeweler for 20 years. I think she started at the age of 7. And in this last year alone, she submitted 135 orders. She's using whatever means she needs to serve her customers and hostesses. She has led in technology. She has always had the attitude that we learn something new, and she's applied it to her business. She has never given up, and she's done whatever she had to do to find success in her business. She's a 4-diamond designer. She comes from Middle America, Evansville, Indiana. She's all in. She's here to connect. Welcome, Sarah K. Park.
Hey, friends! I am so excited to share with you today because last year you heard some of my story and you know that we became downtown dwellers last year. And my husband and I also became empty nesters. So we have developed this really exciting new favorite pastime, going for a walk. And I have this little 19-pound Westie. Do you see her? Oh, I miss her. That's Desi. That dog loves to walk on the couch, or she goes running for the door, and she's standing in a wagon. We cannot say this without being ready to go for that walk. Just like Desi's walk, your premier journey started with a call. Now, maybe you're like Desi, and I was. You're like, let's do this, let's go. And you're there with your tail wagging, and you cannot wait to go for this walk. Or maybe some of you are kind of like Desi in the morning. We let her out of her kennel, and she kind of crawls out of there, and then she does her downward dog yoga. And then shakes off the sleeve and saunters over to the door. It doesn't matter how you answered the call. You answered it. And you are part of Premier Designs because someone said to you, hey, would you like to go show some jewelry, serve some people, and maybe make a little extra money? And you went, yeah, let's go for a walk. So, Premier Designs, because it was founded in such a different way. You were not just called by your sponsor. You were called by God to serve in Premier Designs. Andy and Joan Horner may have been the physical founders here on earth, but God instituted Premier through Andy and Joan. So, I believe not only were you called to be part of Premier Designs, you were called to be at this rally to lead Premier Designs into the future. Thank you for answering that call and being here. Give yourselves a hand. So these walks serve lots of different purposes. Randy and I are going on the walk to kind of fight the post-40 expansion, if you know what I mean. Get our steps in, get up off the couch. But Desi, she has some physical needs that need met when we walk. Do I need to explain? Okay. Well, Premier Designs serves physical needs too. How many of you started Premier, you went on this walk to make a little extra money? Anybody? I want to make $500 a month.
Yes.
I've hit it a few times.
Yeah.
It is okay for Premier to meet needs in your life. That's what we signed up to do. But I will let you in on a little secret. It goes so much deeper. When you will look out for the needs of others and you will think about serving in Premier, your needs do get met. And you don't have to really worry about that. So we're out here walking and getting our steps in Premier Designs. There are people that are walking with you too. We're getting steps in. Desi has other needs. What kinds of needs are the people walking with you in Premier needing met in their lives? Well, we can think about customers. Your customers, they need you. Do you know that most women don't have confidence? They don't feel stylish. They don't feel beautiful. They really, most of them look that way on the outside. They really do, don't they? But they just don't believe it. And what we can give those customers, that goes so much deeper than a piece of jewelry. But it starts with a piece of jewelry. Next, some people are going to walk a little further with you, right? They're going to become a hostess. And they're going to invite their friends to be customers, and you're going to have this whole big group walking with you on this journey. Those hostesses, do you know what they need from you? The need they need met is for you to coach them, for you to help them be successful in having that event and getting their friends together. They need you. They need you to be the expert on how to have a successful event. They need discounted and free shopping so they can just fill their jewelry box full. And some people, they're going to go walking with you every single day. They're going to become a jewelry stylist with you. And a whole bunch more of them are going to this week. Who's already sponsored somebody? I'm excited about this. Girls, there are people just like you that need to go on this walk with you. They need their physical needs met too. Now, when we go on these walks with Desi, sometimes somebody walks a little too fast or a little too slow. And we're all guilty of this, aren't we? Because we're not really thinking about the needs of other people when we go on the walk. When we are serving on this journey, we need to think about how to serve in the way that the people we're walking with need to be served. Now, serving sometimes isn't very fun. Desi has yet to ever bring bags with her to pick up after herself. Not once, never. 9-year-old dog. That's always my job. Actually, it's mostly Randy's job. But do you know Jesus told us that serving isn't always fun, but it is always what we're to do. Jesus said to us in Luke that I'm among you as one who serves. And that is such a founding principle at Premier that they've even put it on a monument in the front of the home office. They've added that verse to remind us, Premier Designs, we're among the people on our journey as one who serves. Jesus gave us such an example. When he was at the end of his journey, he said in John 13:1 that he had loved his disciples during his ministry, and now he loved them to the very end. Do you know how he showed that? They just finished dinner. It was an important one. It was a holiday, a celebration. And then Jesus did something strange. He was the King of Kings, right? He took off his robe. He tied a towel around his waist. Now, only the servants would do that. And then he did something that only the lowest servants in the house would ever do. He poured water, and he got down on his hands and knees, and he started taking off his disciples' shoes and washing their dirty feet. Oh, yeah. Jesus even knew when he was washing feet that Peter was going to deny he'd even known Jesus 3 times. I don't know who he is. Washing his feet. He keeps washing feet. All of the other ones were going to run away. They were going to desert him. Thomas was going to not even believe that he was Messiah until he put his hands. Didn't matter. Jesus was serving. He even served Judas, who was going to betray him to death. And when Jesus finished, he looked at his disciples and said, do you understand? Since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash others' feet. I've given you an example to follow. So while we're walking on this journey in Premier, who do we need to serve? How do we need to serve them? We have to follow Jesus' example on this walk and serve people in the way they need to be served. Jesus didn't put just a command out there. He always wraps it in a promise, and this is his promise. He says, now that you know these things, so Premier, now that you've come to rally, and at the end of the week when you are full of all these things that God's going to put in your heart and teach you how to be the expert for your customers and hostesses and jewelers, now that you know these things, God will bless you for doing them. Yes, love that. Now, when we're on our walk, let's go back there. We can forget that there are multiple purposes. We can get what Randy Draper has always told us about, ingrown eyeballs. We can be thinking only about our walk and only about our journey. Oh my gosh, I need some new bookings tonight. I need to meet some new people. I've got to have a $500 show because my electric bill's due. Have you ever found yourself there? I need one more jeweler so I can go on this trip. Oh, we don't have to do that anymore. Okay. Yeah, we do. Because I just Draper, and that was kind of weird. Okay.
We got you.
He's my great-grandpa or something or other. But Randy and I can be walking. And all of a sudden, we're out ahead of Desi, and we're kind of pulling on the leash, and you turn around, the poor little dog's like, I just have to go, just wait a minute. We got out ahead of her. We weren't thinking about her need that she needed met. And sometimes she takes off running because she sees a bird or a squirrel or another dog or a leaf, and we have to pull her back. That's for real. Think about the needs of your hostesses and customers. Just think again. Remember that customer, she needs to feel beautiful. She might need time with her friends. She might need extra income. Are we listening for these things? Are we thinking about that when we're walking? Maybe she needs your help finding the perfect gift. Or maybe she needs help picking out jewelry for her daughter's wedding or class reunions, an occasion. Maybe she needs funds for a mission trip, or maybe she's trying to adopt. We could help her that way too, couldn't we? Sometimes it's really just as simple, girls, as she needs help putting her accessories together, and you are the expert at that. So keep your eyes on those that are walking with you, and think about their needs first. When we're walking, our usual destination is the Greenway. This is my favorite place in Evansville. Oh my gosh, see the river? Oh, I love to walk on the Greenway. Now, if we can get Desi to the Greenway, she is in seventh heaven. She's gonna have other dogs to sniff. She's gonna have little cute kids that are like, oh, let me pet her. And everybody's, oh, she's such a cute dog. She loves the Greenway. But the trick is getting her to the Greenway. She has to be guided. That's why she's with us on this walk with her leash. And we have to get Desi to submit to that lead. She knows, yeah, this is how fun it is to try to get her down the Greenway. At retreat. Yeah. So we're walking along, tugging. Come on, Desi, let's go for a walk. Come on, Desi, let's go. She knows she wants to get to the Greenway, but she does need some guidance. In Premier, we also need to think about that. Who's that walking buddy? Who are you walking with? I want to encourage you to walk with somebody that's going to give you good guidance. It's probably your sponsor. It's probably your upline. Girls, as someone that has some jewelers in her Premier family, I know what you think. You're like, oh, but I don't want to bother her. You can't call us enough, right? Am I right? Call us more. We want to help you. We want to love on you. We want to go on this journey with you, and you are not bothering us. Preach. Also, you're going to find a ton of walking buddies by going to your local community of going to your local training, meeting with them. When they do something fun together, go. You're going to friends and develop fellowship that's going to keep you walking along. This is the guidance that you need. But when you are working with them, make sure you're submitting to the lead. Okay, you saw how she walks, right? When we get her to a place where she's got her nose in something and she's determined, that little dog like digs at her heels and pulls against that leash. Don't be like Desi, okay? When you are being trained and encouraged to do something to serve, try it. Don't get stuck saying, no, I don't want to go. Also, Desi can sometimes be very distracted by something in the flower beds. And it's usually something dead.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And then you have to try to get it out of her mouth. It's just gross. I love my dog, but she's a dog.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can kind of get stuck sniffing dead things in flower beds. This is how I've always done it. Yeah. Stay connected, girls. Stay connected to the group. We are always stronger and smarter together. This is how you're going to become an expert, and it's how you're always going to stay an expert. And I just really have to congratulate you again. You need to pat somebody next to you on the back and say, you are an expert because you're a rally. You are. You came here and you are honing your skills. Now you're only got quite yet. I'll give you 20 minutes. Come on. You are here because you wanted to become a better expert for your customers, right?
Right.
You may be at Rally as a brand new jeweler. That's exciting. You are like deer in the headlights. Well, actually, I think you're probably like Desi. You're at the front door like, come on, let's go for a walk. But some of you may not be new jewelers, but you kind of feel that way because so much in the market has changed. Technology has changed. We've introduced social media. There's a lot going on. You may be feeling like, oh, I feel like a new jeweler again. Well, let me encourage you from 1 Corinthians. God is not looking for people that are already experts and then he calls them over here to do his work. He says, remember, few of you were wise in the world's eyes, were wealthy or powerful before God called you, right? God is looking to see if you've got that let's go for a walk attitude, that servant's heart, putting people first. And then he's going to call you, and then he's going to qualify you. Okay? Remember the order and respond to the call, and then let him qualify you. Desi is sometimes an expert at walking towards the greenway, though. Sometimes she's out in front of us and just trotting along, and her little tail is wagging, going crazy. She's looking up. Now, when she's not an expert, we're dragging her out of the dead things in the flower beds. I want to ask you, which one do you want to be? Especially this week at Rally, you're going to hear so many new things that you already have. Do you want to be out front with your eyes up, trotting along and your tail wagging, taking notes, soaking it all in, going, let's go for a walk with all your jewelers around you? Don't get your nose stuck in the dead things or digging your heels, okay? If you have found yourself there, would you let me just very gently kind of tug on your lead a little bit and say, come on, let's go for a walk again. We can do this. We really can. Come back to that initial excitement and remember what it was like when you first answered the call. You had no idea what you were doing that first jewelry show, did you? Anybody? Oh my gosh, mine was 7 minutes long and I forgot to tell them about the guarantee. But girl, I sold some jewelry and booked some shows, so away we went. That was 20 years ago. All right, let me tell you about this final destination. The Greenway. Oh, I love this place. I'm ready to go walking again. The Greenway has 3 big lanes on it. The big wide one, right along the riverfront with the best view, that's where we're supposed to keep Desi. We're supposed to walk on that lane. I love that lane. I can enjoy stopping, letting her sniff, talking to the kids, It's fun. That big wide lane in Premier, isn't that kind of like our jewelry event lane? Can't we do so much in that lane and we can go at whatever pace we want to? Well, I think it also kind of has the best view. I still believe in this lane. This is still where most of my retail is happening, and when I'm gathering women together and we're playing in jewelry, that still works. Doesn't matter what your content is when you're gathering them up. If you're sharing with them and you're serving them, that's awesome. Remember, girls, what they are after is you. Do you know they sell jewelry at Target? They can buy jewelry anywhere, and they can probably find it cheaper. But you know what they can't find at Target? You. They need you. There are 2 other lanes on that freeway, and those are for the runners, the bikers. Randy and I run and we bike, so we use those lanes. But Desi, she used to run with us. She can't run with us anymore. She's kind of an old dog, and she's had some health issues. So we have to try to keep her out of that lane just for her own safety and health. But we use that lane because it needs to serve a different need for us. What do your customers need? Do they maybe need you to serve a little bit differently than what you've done in the past? Maybe they need you to help with personal styling, just one-on-one. Maybe a VIP group, so that they can continually stay in touch with you and not just meet you once at a jewelry show. Maybe they need a Facebook show because their customers are out of state and they can only do that. Fundraising or pop-up shops, Mexican food and jewelry go really well together. But, girls, be comfortable staying in the lane where you can keep pace. It's okay for Desi to say, this is my lane and this is how I run. It's okay. Just remember, gather women, show jewelry. So, this week, as you've come here to study and learn, to serve and connect, I hope that you're going to take a few lessons from Desi. It's probably the only notes you can write, right? Number 1, remember your call. Submit to your leading. Serve with the needs of others in mind. Use the lane that you need to serve the customers that you're in front of, and keep that let's go for a walk attitude. When we finish this walk and we get back home, Desi usually passes out on the floor. She's panting. It's like we've killed her. But if one of us says, oh, I need to run by the post office or drop this off, Desi, you want to go for a walk? She is at it again. So, Premier Designs, let me ask you, if you can take a little lesson from Desi, do you want to go for a walk?
Thank you, Sarah, so much for the reminder that connecting with our customers is so important. Don't you agree? All right, well, soon we're going to hear even more trainings on jewelry shows, digital shows, fundraisers, style shows. Are y'all ready?
Ready? Woo!
Are you ready?
Ready!
Just making sure. In fact, we've packed around with so many trainings and announcements, your head may be spinning and wondering, how am I going to possibly remember all of this, right?
Right.
Well, I want to introduce you to Premier University, which is a new section on your jeweler site. You don't see it yet? We know you've been very busy at Raleigh, right?
Right.